how's your work going on, Omkar ji?
Work is going on great, sir. We are actually launching our third startup, so it's in e-learning platform only. So edtech startup, so it's taking our time very much. So it is really great, sir.
And what kind of edtech startup you're doing it?
Similarly, like Udemy only, but
Okay.
related to the professional courses like MBA and other professional courses like digital marketing, we are coming up with such things. So already we are glad to have 10 interns from PIBM doing internship with us. So they
Oh,
are,
very good.
yeah, they are already working on this project. So they are really great to be associated with these.
Oh, amazing, sir. Amazing, amazing.
Thank you, sir.
So you are using what kind of a platform in this? So
Uh,
the kind of technology you are using it. So
yes.
this is what kind of technology? Yeah.
Yeah. So, sir, our platform is
So,
completely made in-house. So it is made from the scratch. So the UI, UX and everything is designed from the scratch itself. We are recording the videos also. Plus, what we have gone advanced way is we have put HLS 26 encryption. So those videos will not be downloaded from a normal thing. So anyone can do a screen recording of any platform, but to download those videos would be like Hollywood style encryption is already at place. So that thing we have also catered into. So we are probably launching in the mid of October through this. So all the product and everything is going on. So we are following the 8 steps of NPD and going in that way, sir.
oh, very good. Excellent, excellent,
Thank
excellent.
you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Shriji sir, how's where you have reached in your edtech vision?
Sir, we are already into marketing. So we are a marketing company. So we are into this field since 4 years. So I have two startups. One is completely into marketing, in under which we do digital marketing. So therein we design web applications, then marketing strategy. So we have worked with brands like Venky's, Lakme, and we have 370 plus clients across the globe. So even the
Oh,
tiny nation of Maldives, we have a client there. So our strategy has been always regarding with the platforms or with the client requirements in mind. So we have already strategized during this pandemic also how to go forward with this, because the business has suffered a lot. I can see almost 60% of my client base was from restaurant industry. So
oh,
from the restaurant has been shut down, so there is no policy change also. So we strategize something for them also once the takeaway started coming in. So it was to educate the people. So that is the marketing side. Then the second startup was postercard.com, wherein you can order wall posters. So there is a very good base for wall posters also in India, which we launched 3 years ago. That is also going great. So this is my third startup in which edtech I'm starting with, and under this, almost the product development is 80%. So 20% is remaining, and the bug testing and everything is going on.
oh,
So we definitely with Omkar sir also we can collaborate for marketing strategies. We have excellent team, so we can definitely collaborate for that also.
oh, great, great, great. So when you say that you plan for marketing strategies, so you plan all digitally, right? So because you're digital marketing company, so you plan digital marketing strategy. So generally, suppose I if I have a product, so I have either basic traditional strategies which covers channels and on B2B, all those stuff. And second what it covers digital strategy. So where you acquire customer over the digital platforms.
Yes.
So generally, you're working towards the digital strategy of for a company, correct?
No, no, sir. So
Digital
actually,
sales.
actually, we are a marketing company. Generally, the one of our service, digital marketing, is corely which we do, but traditional marketing is also the part of our marketing strategy. So we do ATL and BTL also. So whenever someone comes up with a product or an idea, we have worked with 30 plus startup till date. So we have, just because of their idea, we have designed their logo. We have told them how to move properly.
Oh,
So there, when the person is approaching us, we always keep in mind that he's on a tight budget. So we don't charge exactly what we are charging to the MNCs or something like that. But what we believe in is creating a product or brand out of what the idea he has approached with us. So down the line, if he's successful, he's sustaining the business 2 3 years. That is a testimonial for our services. So whenever they come up with some kind of strategy, we always tell them to go step by step. Don't go directly into building up all the things. So once you have the product, try building your brand with basic identity like logo, visiting card. These are the necessities. then go for a development project or application project. Then the third step would come marketing, wherein you create awareness. Facebook ads has given a very huge platform to reach out to the customer personally on their mobiles. So like that, we do the strategy. So if the client is requiring for a traditional marketing strategy also, wherein he requires people to go door to door or go to the malls or do ATL, BTL activities also, there also we have our team at place.
Hmm. Okay. Good. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. So in your, so because I was very keen to understand that how do you, so suppose some companies like right now what you're making edtech platforms,
Yes.
like Udemy or like Upgrad and all those stuff. So it's very very vital that the entire work happen digitally. So
Yes.
they also approach physical campuses or physical, you
Yes.
know
Yes. Yes.
mediators. But then it's very very important and crucial that they build digital platforms. So digital, so they spend approximately something around 50 crores to 100 cr over these platforms, and these platforms are like a well.
Yes.
The more you pour, you don't know the output of that.
Yes.
so
Correct.
so so we also have a small in-house digital team,
Yeah.
so where we work with the Facebook very very closely. But then what I see that Facebook relevancy of the data coming in is very very less. Mean suppose if I apply to the age group of between 18 to 22 years, sometimes the data is not relevant at all. But whereas if you compare the Google analytics, okay, or you do a very good campaign, like, in Google. So relevance of the data, that means what campaign I did it, and what segment I touch upon. So I can say the more accuracy is on Google rather than on Facebook. So
Yes.
Facebook charges enormously high, and and what data you get it. So because when you get data, we start calling on them, okay, and when you call on them, you see that they some of them has not even punched data. So I think Google in that case is much accurate in aspect of that.
So I'll just add from my expertise. This is the classic thing which some of our clients faces, that they say that ki whenever we do a lead generation campaign on Facebook, it is costing us very high, and the data which we are getting are not relevant to our industry or our product or service.
Correct.
In Google, whenever you are running a campaign, people are actively searching for that product. So whenever they type about that product, they see the result and they come on that. So that is kind of a pull marketing there. In Facebook and Instagram, we are doing push marketing where we are targeting an audience
Yes,
and
absolutely.
showing them ads. The problem lies in that kind of campaigns is we don't target it accurately. So suppose we just put three parameters there. One is age, one is demographic interest, and another one is gender, and location is there. So but inside that, Facebook also, I feel 95% of the digital marketing experts also do Facebook campaign wrongly. Why? Because they don't exclude the things they don't want to see in that. So there is an option downside itself wherein you can exclude the people whom you don't want to see in that lead generation campaign.
Yeah.
Also under lead generation campaign, there are two. One is higher volume, wherein you can get lot many entries in that, and there is one higher intent campaign is also there. So those people who have an expertise in advanced Facebook ads for power editors, or have advanced deep knowledge, so they can actually pinpoint it, and you will be surprised to know, sir, ki you will get beautiful results if you target your campaigns according to that. So suppose you get 100 lead out of your Excel sheet, probably you will end up converting 20-30 out of that, and 95% would be relevancy to that. But all lies on the way of we are targeting. So that's where we lack in. Google is very straightforward. You type in the campaign, people who are searching for that will come to your result, and they will contact you or fill up the form. But here you are doing a push kind of a marketing, so you have to be accurate with your ad copy as well, and you have to target them and create the form such as well. So these are all the things only which we are coming up in our edtech startup, wherein we'll be teaching from A to Z about digital marketing. So I have already taught 26,000 plus students face to face. So I take workshops among premier institutes in Pune. So I go there and teach them face to face. So during this pandemic time, we observed that the workshops are not possible. Everything is going on digitally also. And I take Zoom classes at 7 to 9 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday also for people who are interested in digital marketing. But what we felt is like the amount of my presence required during this classes is very much high. So what we felt is that EdTech startup has seen a hockey stick growth during this pandemic. So we can come up with such kind of platform wherein people can learn at their own pace and they can learn from industry experts. So our first course is all about digital marketing and Facebook marketing and YouTube marketing. I would definitely love to give you the link to try it out, sir.
Why not?
The
Why not?
Facebook marketing, and I
Yeah.
can assure you, if you follow those kind of steps wherein the campaign has been properly targeted, you will find actually Facebook and Instagram marketing to be optimized one, because the target segment which you are targeting is for the MBAs aspirants who would be joining your institute. So that crowd is right now sitting at Instagram. So rather than Google also, they are sitting at Instagram. We just have to tap them. That's the
Correct.
thing. Yes, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I, Ritika Valecha, on behalf of the entire PIBM family, welcome you to Microtom, Riding the Pandemic Storm. We all are aware of the fact that COVID has hit on us and it has taken a toll on the planet in worst ways imaginable. Our country has been especially affected, not only in terms of our economy crippling down, but also posing a huge crisis on specific industries and largely the MSMEs. Growth of MSMEs is considered as one of the prescriptive benchmarks for our country's economic development. It is thus important to understand strategies adopted by MSMEs to tide over these challenging times and work upon possible opportunities in a policy friendly ecosystem and supportive macro environment. Keeping this in mind, PIBM has endeavored to bring together thought leaders from various mid cap and small cap enterprises to share their first hand experiences and talk about ways they adopted for sustenance and prosperity in such testing times. It's now time to welcome our esteemed guests for today's discussion. Our first guest of honor for today is a Google certified experienced chief marketing officer with a demonstrated history of working in the marketing and advertising industry. Sir is skilled in digital marketing, SEO, and marketing strategies for various clients and is also well versed in programming languages and computers. Presently, Sir is the CEO and founder of Digisas Private Limited and Postercard.com. I would now like to invite Siji Varghese Sir to be a part of our today's panel discussion.
Thank you. Thank you, Ritika.
Welcome, sir.
Very good morning to all of you. I take this opportunity to welcome all our dignitaries who are the esteemed panelists for the panel one. I would like to welcome CG Varghese sir. I think CG Varghese sir has given a fantastic insight since his interaction in the morning when he had logged in to the first panel.
Without wasting your time, I think we should start up the session. I have already set up the expectation that so I'll brief one question that what are the kind of challenges what we have seen in past 6 months, and in these challenges how many of us might have seen opportunities coming together. I think a lot of us are from different sector. So now I want to give it this to the all panelists to share their ideas and thought process that how do you see that in this pandemic, that these challenges and what kind of opportunities you see coming in the future for every entrepreneurs to grow their vision. So please. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So, thank you all for inviting me into this panel. My name is Siji Varghese. I'm CEO founder for Digisas Private Limited. I have two startups. One is Postercard and another one is marketing company. We are right now leveraging the opportunity of COVID-19 and getting into EdTech startup. We were having a discussion previously about EdTech startup also. So EdTech startup has seen a hockey stick growth during this pandemic. All the online learning and everything, the schools are shut down, the institutes are shut down, so everything is going online. So let me just start with what challenges are currently in the market, and then I'll come to the platforms which are leveraging these challenges. So according to World Economic Forum, 70% of the startups have terminated their full-time contract of employees. You can already see in the news that how many number of people have lost their job. As Manoj sir also said that no industry has been expert from this. A lot many industries have been tremendously affected by this so-called COVID-19, and the things which people are reduced to mere survival. So there are industries which are shut down. There are like MSMEs and SMEs which are completely shut down. Their survival depended on probably the 1 month or 2 month of run. Lot many restaurants have been shut down, which is another segment which has no clarity on when they will be opening up. What businesses who are surviving till now have done is they have reassessed their business, they have repurposed their business, and they have redirected their business. This is the three things which they are doing currently. They are also going into downsizing. Lot many jobs are lost, as I have already told. This work from home culture has taken place tremendously. So right now we are using a technology called Zoom. So Zoom never expected. I was seeing a webinar of Zoom CEO also, where he was speaking that they never expected to have such tremendous growth during this COVID-19. So those are the platforms. Some of the platforms like content production companies like Netflix, Amazon have seen very good growth in their platforms. Then there is digital marketing companies also, because everyone who were doing traditional marketing wants to switch into digital marketing. They want to come up with some kind of application or website. I can see in neighborhood also many people who were just selling vegetables or fish also, now they want website or application to deliver it to the customer. So during this pandemic also, companies like Amazon, Flipkart, and even Big Basket has seen tremendous growth also. E-learning platform, again, as I said, that this has seen a very good growth during this pandemic time. White Hat Junior has been acquired by Baiju, and government has made it mandatory that from 6th onwards you should learn coding. So these are the things where the market opportunity lies. If one door closes, another door opens. That's what I believe in. You just have to repurpose your business. So if your business is failing, you don't have that much of money to sustain that. You just have to reassess that, repurpose that, and redirect it. That's what I believe in. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So I will. So,
I
so
would
coming
like
back
to
to the.
add one statement in with Saurabh sir, and what Sumit sir has already spoke about innovation. So my statement is like the most disruptive companies been created from crisis only. So as sir was talking about 2008 financial one, I'll talk about much before also, like 2000 when the dot-com bubble was there. So after that, Google, eBay, LinkedIn, they scaled up pretty quickly. And during 2008 financial crisis also, Uber, Airbnb, Instagram, WhatsApp, these all things have scaled. So there is a great opportunity for great leaders. You just have to tap to that opportunity, and you have to do innovation from that. So I totally agree with what Saurabh sir and Sumit sir have said about this statement. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Shriji. So, so my next, we want to have it is to Nirbhar. You know that Mr. Modi ji has, or in fact, we also have in our mind that how we can become Atmanirbhar as being three categories of the company: MSME, SME, and a mid-sized company, and a large size firms. Okay. So my question goes. Suppose it's an IT sector or IT sector unit, and they want to do certain kind of work into IoT. You know that India doesn't manufacture any kind of chips. So in that ways, if we want to grow beyond and beyond, how we can become Atmanirbhar. So my question goes to Shriji ji onto that.
Okay, sir. So before making any statements on any government schemes, I want to say that I'm very neutral. I don't belong to any kind of political party. So whatever statements I'll be making would be completely neutral. So because a lot many things can be shared on social media and can be taken out of context. So this Atmanirbhar or any other slogans which are coming up from the government, these are kind of a slogans which should be implemented into policy. Whenever you are implementing that in policy in the ground level, when you check about the reality of that, you come to know that the slogans which were implemented are not implemented in the ground level. So even if you want to become Atmanirbhar, or there was one statement by Mr. Prime Minister, zero defect, zero effect. Then comes a statement about make in India. Then comes vocal for local. Then comes Atmanirbhar Bharat. All this thing means nothing but make in India itself, that you should produce locally and you should produce it for a global perspective also. Banning something is not a solution. What I feel, that if you ban something, imports or any products, that is not the solution. What you need to make is what kind of support you are giving to the MSME or SME. As Manoj sir said, that ki lot many documentation and everything is required, which people doesn't have clarity about. So if you want to make a sector out of IoT or even the innovative things, you need the government support, which should be happening on the ground level itself. Suppose Atmanirbhar campaign, once it was announced, you can see that Mr. Akshay Kumar has launched Fauji. It's just a synonym or a rhyming word with PUBG. So there, I don't feel something is innovative going on. The same exact thing would be replicated. Even the poster was told to be plagiarized or told to took from Shutterstock and everything. So there is not an innovation. Even the company like Jio has exactly replicated the Zoom interface and WhatsApp interface in their Zoom chat and Geo interface. So this is not innovation. This is not something what I feel is Atmanirbharta. This is bluntly copying something and producing it as an original content. So what as a Atmanirbharta I feel is that you should have innovation with you. You should have passion towards it, and you should reach out to the global platform. Even though you are starting it small, there is one company called Zoho. They are still bootstrap company. Lot many investors have approached them, but they are still bootstrap company. During this pandemic time also, they beautifully supported all their clients. They have given the free credits and lot many things they have done for their clients. So even if you are starting it small, be it any segment, you just have to have the support of such kind of schemes which can be implemented practically and took out to a global level. So all this thing, whatever the slogans are coming up, should be implemented practically so that you can actually move forward. These schemes, I also support all these schemes, but yes, this ground reality should match with the slogans or the campaign that is going on. That's what I feel about.
Good.
Yeah, again, this is a very interesting topic, right? Atmanirbhar, CG was very right to say that, he was very right to give, in fact, a disclaimer right at the beginning that this should not be construed as a political view. And I also agree with him. More than politics coming into play here, I think what is critical is to understand that it had a very noble intent, right? And the intent is right at the right time.
Okay. My question goes to Shriji ji. Shriji ji, that because you are working on a newer skill set, because your tagline and I saw your logo that you are very digitally driven company. You build marketing strategies for the various companies. So and plus you also launching EdTech, okay, which is working for our digital campaigns, training students on that. What is your viewpoint toward the budding entrepreneurs and for the students which is listening here?
Okay, sir. So there is one more question which you will probably ask further, say how institute like PIBM should come into the picture when they are developing these kind of entrepreneur skills. So I'll collaborate both the answers. So when I started my journey during my college time, as like Omkar sir said, that everyone was in a rat race. Everyone wanted to get a good package. There, no one talked about having an innovative idea, or people did not support about having someone to go into entrepreneurship. Everyone wanted that their students should be placed at various big companies so that their numbers and figures goes up. When if you those who are listening, most of the people are students here. If you want to get into entrepreneurship, let me share an anecdote which I feel I should share. When I was going to get married, so I had to go to my wife's place. She lives in Mumbai and I live in Pune. So I had gone with my parents to Mumbai, and my father-in-law, he asked me a very simple question. I thought being a CEO, I could easily answer that, but I was not able to convince him. The question he simply asked is, most of the people here might be MBA people. So he asked us, why did you do MBA, or what is the role of an MBA in real world? So I was telling about all other answers. What answer he was expecting is MBA people should be problem solvers. Okay, so that is the thing which you should think about, as Sumit sir and Omkar sir also said, that copying anything is not the solution. We have brilliant minds here, we have brilliant schemes here which can support those things. My four mantra about how to start your entrepreneur journey is, if you all are interested in learning, is you all have might have heard about 4 P's of marketing: product, price, place, promotion. These are the 4 P's. I have devised 4 P's for my entrepreneurship journey. That is, one is passion. Unless and until you don't have passion, you will fail in every journey whichever you take, be it 7 to 8 job or 6 to 9 job or whatever job you are doing, you will fail at it. A movie called Lakshya, in that ऋतिक रोशन लाइटली जोक्स अबाउट कि अगर मैं एक साइंटिस्ट बनता हूं बट मैं अच्छा साइंटिस्ट नहीं बनता हूं तो कोई बात नहीं है, बट मैं अगर एक घास काटने वाला बनता हूं और एक अच्छा घास काटने वाला बनता हूं तो कोई बात है. सो पैशन इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट, इवन इफ यू आर डूइंग 9 to 6 जॉब और इवन इफ यू आर स्टार्टिंग विद एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप जर्नी. दैट इज द फर्स्ट P. Second P is planning. You should plan exactly where you want to go. You should have goals, you should have vision, you should have mission. These are all the things which we read on probably company website or the documents, but are you implementing those vision, mission, or the goals which you are going through? You have to carefully plan about everything whatever you are going to achieve. During this pandemic time also, we could see lot many digital marketing companies or marketing companies shutting their doors down. What we did, when we came to hear about this COVID-19 pandemic, the first case during December itself and January itself, we tried to plan that if such cases happen, and India is a very populated country, if such cases happen, what is the worst case scenario? What is the plan B, C, D if you want to go towards sustaining your business? I started my journey in 2016, and it was probably the worst time to start the business because we faced demonetization. ठीक है, नोटबंदी हुआ, उसके बाद अल्कोहल बैन हुआ during the state highways, wherein my clients from restaurant industry directly got affected. उसके बाद GST आया. All this thing, crisis will happen, as someone has rightly pointed कि crisis, Saurabh sir has rightly pointed कि crisis will make you better. During his time also, he asked his HOD कि sir job का क्या होगा. Every person right now in the students who are, they are thinking कि हमारे job का क्या होगा, हमारे इसका क्या होगा. Don't think about it. Upgrade your skill set. That's what is currently required. So my second point was about planning. Third thing is perseverance. ठीक है, we expect results immediately. ठीक है, हम लोग ने अगर आज स्टार्टअप किया है, वी एक्सपेक्ट इट टू बी हैविंग फंडेड, वी एक्सपेक्ट इट टू क्रॉस XYZ रेवेन्यू. हम लोग सब एक दिन में ही हम लोग ये करने को देखते हैं, बट दैट इज नॉट द थिंग. Whenever you are planning for a long-term vision, you have to perceive it. You have to try it regularly. Then only you will hit the mark. Without perseverance, you cannot go anywhere. Then the fourth thing is, which like a lot of people neglect, is party. So party, according to me, doesn't mean कि आप जाओ club जाओ जाके party करो. Party, according to me, is कि celebrate your achievements. The keep milestones. If you are achieving those milestones, be vocal about it. Tell people. ठीक है, हो सकता है 50 people में से 40 people doesn't like about your achievement. That's how the psychologically the society works. But there are 10 people who would be ready to invest in your business, ready to celebrate with you, ready to be with you. So you should party about whatever the achievements you are doing current time. So these are my 4 mantras for all the budding entrepreneurs who want to go ahead with it. Have passion. Second is planning. Third is perseverance, and fourth is party. Thank you.
Good, very good 4 Ps. Yeah, thank you. So I think this is an amazing interaction. What we had it. So let me give a small snapshot what the 4 Ps and the entire innovation and spiritual connect and Nirbhar and then original thought process. So what I feel our one of the great youth leader, okay, was Sri Swami Vivekananda ji. What he shared long back to every youth, okay, that anything and everything is possible. That's number one. Number second, what he shared, that that if you have a will, that means what everybody says as a passion. So if you have to have an indomitable will to achieve the success. Third, what he said, that if you work hard, you will reach your goals. You can only work hard when you have a passion. So if you have a goal, so first is fix a goal. So what he said in his own way, that animals doesn't have the goal. So cow gets up every day, eats the grass and sleep. So for the human, it's very, very important that you have to have a career goals. And if you have a career goals, that goals will be backed up with the indomitable will and passion. So I think the message is that never have a fear to have a goal, and have an indomitable will. Keep seeing that what is your business is required. Don't copy. Okay, be original and start working from today itself. So I think, sir, with this you have a questionnaire, and there are few questions at the in the Q&A box. I think Ridhiman, if you can take this questionnaire and can we facilitate with the various people here, please.
Right. Yeah, yes, sir. Absolutely. I would love to facilitate the question answer session. So the first.
Yes, sir. Meeting got disconnected, I guess, right?
Sorry for
no. It's okay. I contacted More sir and asked what was the situation.
So it's completely fine. So it happens. Sometimes the connection just goes off.
Right.
What exactly happened, sir? Got disconnected or what exactly happened?
No, I think there was some mistaking glitch on somebody by that instead of probably it was suddenly terminated. Suddenly the meeting got terminated due to any very, very touchwood. Till now it has not happened. Now every time any occasion of disaster you get a learning. So I think that's a new learning that we should be very careful keeping our hands and pressing buttons. Button will going to culminate into what?
Yes.
So I'll just what I do is that I'll just start reading. I think the questions are still there to come to the question and answer box. I think fresh questions. I think Shubham Joshi had asked one question. So Shubham, can you just ask it? May I ask the host to Shoden if you can just ask Shubham to ask the question from here?
Sir, I had gone through that questionnaire. So there were 3 questions. So Shubham's question, and there were 2 questions related to that also. So I'll answer that. So what Shubham has asked, if he can type in the Q&A also, other people can see. So what he asked is about my startup, like EdTech startup which I am coming into. He feels that even the teacher should be vocationally trained. So are we positioning something related to teachers also? So as someone had rightly said that the skill set should be improved from every area. During this pandemic also, when you have seen the teachers who just knew how to write on blackboard or just to teach in the classroom, they have invested their time on learning Zoom first, then they have invested their time on having a whiteboard in the back, and they asked their younger generation that how to operate this technically. They became technically sound. So what my startup would be coming is, Shubham, is related to it's called MBA Fundas. So it's related to MBA courses plus digital marketing. So as I have done a market research and I have trained 26,000 plus student face to face before pandemic also, we felt that there is a gap when learning online all these courses which are segregated on online. If you go to Facebook also, you see tons of courses which are there on 99 rupees, 499 rupees, but there they don't explain everything from the basic itself. So here we have assumed from A to Z that whatever you will be learning would be from A to Z. So we will be teaching you all about digital marketing, which is our first course, from A to Z itself, and we have an expansion plan of connecting with faculties like various faculties from PIBM and other faculties also, wherein these people would be coming and sharing their expertise on particular subjects. So answering the first question, yes, we are also positioning our courses related to every segment. We have identified those segments, we have identified the areas. We'll be reaching out once we launch in October mid, so we'll be going ahead with that. So second question which was asked is about copying innovation. So people have copied, and the person was saying that even Flipkart and Ola has copied the business model of other marketplaces, but they are very successful. Instead of copying, what they have done is they have identified the segment in India, that how exactly the Indian consumer work. So Indian consumer market is very price sensitive. They have identified this and they have become successful. They have not replicated exactly what the core thing Amazon does or everything. almost everything like logistics and everything, you will find it identical. Ola is a travel company. Okay, they don't have any fleets of their own, but the thing which Uber does, same thing Ola does. But they have identified the target market, done a market research. That's why they are successful in India. I won't call them as a copying company, but they have done according to their Indian segment. Third question was related to something called network marketing. So he was referring to that a lot many students at tender age, they are going and want to earn money, and they want to get into network marketing and all this kind of a things, which is good or bad. He was asking about the opinion. So that opinion, according to me, network marketing is a complicated thing. Lot many countries have banned MLM. So MLM, multi-level marketing, if you know, like eBiz, Amway and all this deals in MLM. Network marketing is also similar kind of marketing. What I feel is ki whether you want to earn money, it's totally choice is up to you, whether it is a tender age or whether it is a growing age. What you need to do is you have to have a clear focus. You should not have any deviation from the education system what you are currently into. See, the famous people like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, these are all college dropouts. That doesn't mean tomorrow you have to start your startup, you have to be a college dropout. Education and knowledge is very much important. But if you want to pursue a career wherein you can earn at tender age, there are lot many things. You can create your own content on YouTube. Lot many people, Google will pay you. There is affiliate marketing also. So this particular term affiliate marketing is something based on performance based marketing. So if a person is actually selling the courses or product or services, they are rewarded based on their performances. So we are actually implementing affiliate marketing in our third startup also, just to cater the loss of jobs. So we want to address that thing also, that wherein lot many people have lost their jobs during this pandemic. So we are also coming up with our affiliate marketing of our courses, where you can sell our courses and earn 20-30% commission. You can earn monthly 30,000 to 1 lakh also, but this is all based on your passion, your performance also. So the third question is whether you want to start earning by now or whether you want to earn later on. It's all depending on your mindset and the market research which you are doing.
I'll just come on, because gradually we are coming to the conclusion of this meeting. I would like to ask you, as on behalf of PIBM, Pune Institute of Business Management, that we have been an institute which has been working quite intensively with in partnership with MSMEs. How do you think institution organization partnership will work in this particular space? And if I ask all of you, you are all business leaders in your respective organization, what do you expect from an institute in this particular regard? How they can contribute?
Okay, sir. So as I said before, that institute should realize that students should not run in a rat race. They should inculcate this entrepreneurship behavior. Like Sumit sir also told about incubators. So incubators necessarily doesn't mean that you should have a technical perspective over that, but the skills which already the faculties or some external members are having should be passed on to that. So more and more entrepreneurship development or ED cells should be created under your institute, wherein you can cater to those aspiring minds. You can tell them that this is another career option also wherein you can go. So not only getting placed in some big companies with some lakhs of package, you should also tell that you have to create jobs also tomorrow. So there might be some people who can come up with brilliant ideas. All they lack is support. So as an institution, you can have a backbone support to them. You can come up with incubators. You can come up with such certain kind of industry interactions with the students, wherein they can contribute and they can have one-to-one talk to industry experts. So this is my suggestion to PIBM, and I'm glad really PIBM is conducting these kind of activities. I'm also glad 10 interns from your esteemed institutes are actually working with us in our third startup also, and that is really great what you guys are already doing. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. I think that was a tremendous session we had, and a lot of insights have gradually poured in, and probably if I start speaking one by one, I will take another half an hour, 1 hour. So some of the and obviously some of the very insightful things is obviously the originality, innovation, spirituality. Then the 4Ps uniquely being told by CG sir. The 4P, I think, which Sumit Goswami sir also added up and Saurav also joined in, that is collaboration, partnering. I think, CG sir, you can put your 4Ps, you can add the 5th P as partnering. So 5th P and partnering, and there was I think you had also brought in that there is some bit of madness. So you can replace passion with pagalpan.
Yes.
So that is another P you can add to it. So wonderful insights had come, but as we know that every beautiful thing, every great thing has to come to an end. So we are coming to the close of the session, where I would once again like Ritika, the host of this entire session. She has done it beautifully, to once again hand it over to him or hand it over to her. Yes, Ritika, over to you.
Thank you, sir. It was indeed a very comprehensive, eye-opening, and an educative session. Thank you, all the esteemed dignitaries, for sharing your expertise and enlightening the young mind.
Thank you, Ritika. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. So I would actually like to take this opportunity to extend my vote of thanks to, on behalf of my entire PIBM family, to all our esteemed guests, that is Mr. CG Varghese sir. And sir, we all actually got to know about wonderful ideas that you gave on EdTech potential, about the marketing ideas, and obviously the 4Ps. And I'm sure that everyone has got a food for thought for the coming times. So thank you all of you, sir, for actually giving us such an enlightenment about various things. And about, I would say you have spared your time from your busy schedules and graced this occasion. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that all our crowd, everyone has been enthralled and have been exposed to a lot of words of wisdom, and they will obviously keep these things in mind and obviously will take your ideas forward. I would also like to thank Mr. Ramanpreet sir, who's the chairman of PIBM Group of Institutes, for facilitating this session. Would also like to thank Ridhiman sir for being there and supportive for the entire session and being facilitating the entire question answer round. And would like to, I would say, give a special sense of appreciation for Manoj Gadre sir for organizing this, for being a helping hand in this, and the entire placement department, especially Shoden and Shweta for coordinating the entire thing. And then Mr. Nilesh Kate sir and Mr. Mahendra More sir for supporting in corporate relations. And obviously the IT team for making all these things happen. And last but not the least, all my colleagues and my beloved students who patiently listened to everything, and I'm sure were enriched by today's discussion, and obviously will when they go to their places, they'll be far more knowledgeable and they'll be far more richer as far as the experience is concerned. Thank you so much, sir, again for taking out time. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
so much from my side to everybody.
Thank you. All the best.
I'm
Thank you,
definitely,
Mole
sir.
for inviting me, and PIBM members for inviting me. I would definitely like to collaborate more and strengthen our relationship. Already we are doing internship. We would definitely like to collaborate. I would also definitely like to collaborate with other panel members also. So I'll be probably contacting you soon. You can also contact me. It's lovely to be in having a discussion on a Saturday morning. So it was completely fruitful, what I believe in. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Thank
Have
you
a
so
nice
much.
day, everyone. And
Have a
please
nice
stay safe.
day. Please
Have
stay
a
safe.
wonderful day. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Stay safe and take care.